Today we're going to look at the future of coding. I'm going to show you what is happening and why it matters. Make sure to watch until the end of the video to fully understand how significant this is, because it demonstrates where we are headed with generative AI and coding. You don't want to miss this edition of Tech's Edge. Over the past few months, I've seen a number of new things released that indicate we are moving into a brave new world. For example, this GitHub project generates web pages on demand. The user simply clicks on a web page button and the preceding page is generated, code and all, before the user is sent to that page. Here is another example of a website that builds and deploys other websites on demand from a simple prompt. In this example, I asked to generate a Space Invaders game. We continue to see more sites like this, and today was no exception. Before discussing it, let's touch on just-in-time software technologies so we can distinguish just-in-time code generation from traditional just-in-time compilation. There are differences. Just-in-time is the term for getting things just as you need them. In a sense, Amazon is a just-in-time service. You don't need to prepare or think about that dog food that is running out. You can just order it, and it will be at your house just in time. Now let's talk about JIT compilation, the process commonly misunderstood as just-in-time programming. Just-in-time compilation, in the case of Java, or interpretation, in the case of Python, is the process of executing code when needed. Web pages are not converted into a language the computer can natively understand when the program is first written. Instead, this pre-written program is handed over to some intermediate software that translates those commands into a lower-level language the computer can run. The software developer still has to write the code first, and then distribute it to the user, who then runs the code on their computer. The building of the software does not happen just in time. The translation occurs just in time. Now let's talk about just-in-time programming. Just-in-time programming is just that. The program is written just as it's needed. So, let's look at a new example. The person who brought us the on-demand web page generator we saw earlier created another project. Sawyer Hood on GitHub created the Windows9x project, demonstrating just-in-time programming even better than his earlier project. I'll put the links in the description below so you can check it out. Sawyer, along with some other contributors, built Windows9x. This project aims to mimic the look and feel of Windows 9x, the Microsoft operating system used throughout the 1990s, but totally different. So here is how it works. The user activates the run command, a feature still in Windows today. Instead of entering the name of the application, the user enters the description of the application and the action it wants to run, and the simulated OS generates it for you. Let's take a look. In this video, the user entered Notepad as the application to build with no further explanation. The user probably understood the generative AI creating the app and knew exactly what to make, the requirements, and everything else. This app even had all file-level commands. In the demo, we even saw it save and open the file. Let's take another look at another example. Here, the user is asked to generate a web browser that takes a URL from the user, creates the web page, and displays it in the generated browser. It is browsing a locally created static web page, but you can see the potential. This is simply phenomenal and really blows my mind. Let's look at another example. In this video, a database type application is created, but the database is read and written using natural language. I'm not sure if the system generated this application, but it easily could have. Let's look at the last video. In this video, we also didn't see the app generated, but it is working over the internet. I am really excited to see where this goes. I hope you realize it is just a matter of time before we get native AI computer operating systems where applications are generated for us on demand. I think software companies have a lot to consider moving forward. Let me know in the comments. Were you as blown away by the potential as I was? That does it for this video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.